Alright, this is going over a build that I just recently did. It's a body and cage that I got off of eBay. I paid $160 for it. Probably should have bought the kit, but I just wanted the body and the bottom suspension plate. The links I'm going to replace. I'm working on the front drive shaft right now. I'm having a problem with it popping out. Anyways, it's a custom shaft that I actually cut and welded to get the length that I needed. The rear is a stock Losi LST shaft. It's an outer shaft that I made as a driveline. Like I said, the links are getting replaced. It's got custom axles. The axles use on the rear mostly axial parts. The only thing that's Kyosho is the housing and the differential itself. The outer is axial. The shafts are axial XL from the Yeti, which is a really beefy axles. I like them. I'm never going to break them, that's for sure. The outer lockouts are axial. I locked the differential with an axial XL locker that I cut down and then re-drilled the center shaft that locks it into the differential. So that's axial. Also, the bearings are axial. Let's see. Oh, and then on both of them, I built the carbon fiber piece that goes on the axle so that the four-link works well. I moved the rear shocks so that I didn't have to use a sway bar. This eliminates the need for a sway bar. I like the fact that it keeps everything simple, less moving parts, less weight, and you get more articulation because the sway bars hinders movement of the axle, and just by moving the shocks, it eliminates stress on the links, and it eliminates the torquing, most all of the torquing that happens. And this is running on 4S. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I have a lipo pack that's a 4400 SMC 2S, and then on the other side I have it the same thing, and then I got it running in series so that it's running 4S. I've got the little drivers right here, but running it on 4S, the lipos won't let this fit properly, so I just take it out. But I do have it if I wanted to run it more scale, and I just put smaller lipo packs in and then put that in. But I don't mind having the drivers out. I kind of like seeing and getting my hands into everything. It's easy to plug in and that sort of thing. Anyways, I've got the stock waterproof micro servo for the 2-speed Summit transmission. I reversed the transmission. The reason I reversed it is I wanted the weight over the front axle, and so for climbing and just for off-roading, extreme off-roading, it's a better situation. And so that's why I have the layout as I do. The layout, the ESC, which is a Orion R8 ESC, runs up to 4S on this particular motor, which is a 2100 that is also Orion. And this setup came out of my Fox Kyosho, and it's a very powerful, and I believe it's a 4062 length motor. It's got all the poop that I want. Also, this has a frame mounted steering on this. I found that it less hindered with these custom axles. It was easier just to mount it. But the frame is very flexible, and it's actually a very cheap frame. It's broken already, and I haven't even run this that hard. Anyways, this broke, and I put a steel shaft inside to replace it and repair it. But with the steering, because it's a brushless HV high torque servo, it's waterproof too. But with it being brushless, it's very powerful, and it would actually move and twist the frame. So I put carbon fiber in the chassis, and that eliminated everything. Plus, it made it real easy to mount the ESC, which I still have to Velcro or glue into place. The ESC actually can move inside, not much, but it moves a little bit. And that's also going into the carbon fiber. That's how I mounted this Traxxas transmission. It's mounted and then screwed and glued into the chassis, and which made this chassis extremely rigid. Yeah, the only thing I really want to do for a major upgrade now is making my aluminum links. These are flimsy. I don't like flimsy, especially with the movement and stuff that I get. I think it's half the reason why I'm having problems with keeping my front drive line from popping out, as I think it flexes because of the power this thing has on 4S. It will torque these and stretch them to where it actually causes my drive line to pop out. So that's what I'm working on, and that's what is next. And this is because I mounted these shocks back here, I lowered the fuel cell. So the fuel cell used to sit up here. I lowered it. And if you're putting any weight or anything inside this, it'll actually lower the center of gravity. I don't think it made any difference other than the fact that it made mounting my shocks easier, and that's the reason I did it. And it just looks different, which I like too. Anyways, this is the build, and and then I'm using because the axles are 8 scale. 17 millimeters as small as I can go. So if I use a 2.2 tire, which I do have right here, I cut. You can see I cut the 2.2 tire, and then used an 8 scale rim to mount these tires. And they're a good looking tire. They really work well. They're a competition tire. They're tall. These are I think a 3.2, which you can't buy anymore, Proline tire, which I like too. And I think they're like a 5.75 inch tall. These are almost 6 inches tall. I like them. I like them a lot. Anyways, this is the build. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can use something from it. I know all bomber guys can use just alone, if you're going to learn anything off this, it would be to move these shocks from here to here and off that. It makes a world of difference. It bumps up the performance, and all you did was move the shock.